Hi, I'm Andy Mulholland with the Handy Andy Real Estate Experts here in Rochester, Minnesota, and welcome to our video blog. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that a lot of buyers have questions on, and that is the difference between your down payment, your closing costs, and your earnest money. Okay, but before we get to that topic, I do want to point out a couple of links here on our blog. The first one is a home evaluation tool, where if you want to know what the estimated value of your home is, you can click that link, type in your property address, and it will give you an idea of what it might be worth in today's market. The second link is a home search tool where you can start to search for every listing from every company here in Rochester, full color photos, maps, and tours of the properties. The nice thing about that link is that unlike a website like Zillow that might be very much out of date, that website is updated every single day. Let's get on to the topic of the difference between down payment, closing costs, and your earnest money. Now, down payment, this is the money that you put down on a property. So for example, if you buy a $200,000 home and you put 10% down, you're gonna have to put down $20,000. That's your down payment. And then you would mortgage the remaining. You'd have a payment on $180,000. That's your down payment. Different loan products are going to have different levels of down payment. For example, a rural development and a VA loan is zero down. Yes, there are still some zero down loans. You may have a conventional loan with a minimum of 5% down and sometimes as much as 20% down in those scenarios, but it's a minimum of 5. FHA, minimum of 3.5% down. So there's other loan programs as well, but those are kind of the traditional, more common ones that we see people use. Next, let's talk about your closing costs. Now the closing costs, think of it this way, the closing costs are the costs involved in buying a home. So for example, you have three types of costs. One is the lender costs, another one are titling costs, and then you have governmental costs. So starting with government costs, you have taxes. When you buy a home, you pay mortgage registration tax, which is $3.30 for every $1,000 of the home you buy, so that can add up. You pay a lender's origination fee, you pay for an appraisal, you pay for some of those fees. Those are your closing costs. When you buy a home, that's part of getting a loan and buying a property, are those closing costs. Typically they are, the way to think of them is that you're adding them on top of the purchase. So if you buy a home for 200 grand and you have 5,000 in closing costs, really your total cost would be 205,000. So the nice thing is in today's market, we can often negotiate for the seller to pay the closing costs for you as the buyer. The third thing we want to talk about is the earnest money. And really very simply, this is good faith money. It's letting the seller know when you make the offer that maybe you put $1,000 down to let them know that you're serious. The good news is that's not an additional $1,000. That money goes towards your down payment at closing. If you have any more questions on this, please reach out to us and we will have one of our buyer specialists get in touch with you. You can reach us here at the office at 507-258-5850 or as always on our website at handyandysold.com. Thanks for watching.